survey was done by APG back in 2009, which, on behalf of the EPRA membership, which demonstrated that sustainability issues were becoming more and more important and were expected to become more important over the next sort of 5 years or so.
It was very difficult for companies who wanted to report under sustainability standards to know what was exactly the main KPIs you can use, what was expected by investor or by the larger stakeholders.
At EPRA, we decided to get together and build up a specific committee to align those practices and define a small number of key performance indicators for environment.
We've tried to involve investors and experts on the sustainability subcommittee to make sure that the best practice recommendations are relevant, appropriate, and meet the needs of our membership.
I think that's a kind of multi-stakeholder approach, which is based on consensus and open discussion and debate, is especially when it comes to sustainability, the right way to do it.
The consensus was not an easy one to find because the approach for environment between the different countries is quite different. The regulation in different countries is different.
Given the cross-section of members of the committee, it actually worked very well. And I think that there was a good idea of where we wanted to get to between all the different members. There was good cooperation. That's not to say there weren't occasional discussions. There were quite a few of those, but in the end it was a very cooperative atmosphere. And we knew the goal that we were meant to achieve, and we got there.
I think the cooperation went very well. There was a lot of heated debate, and eventually the heated debate ended up into a general broad consensus, a very good result in a very short period of time, which is remarkable.
It's a fantastic success to have been able to align those approaches from one country to another, from one company to another.
By pushing sustainability on top of the agenda, EPRA is doing what it did on the financial BPR, and I think that's a very, very good thing.
To encourage uptake, we needed to be very focused about the requirements set out in the recommendations. And to that end, we focused on environmental KPIs rather than the broader sort of sustainability issues such as social issues and so on. We focused on waste, energy, water and greenhouse gas emissions as the primary KPIs.
The specificity of those KPIs is that they are very pragmatic. We are not talking about regulation here, we are not talking about theory, we are talking about the reality of the environmental performance of a building, of a shopping center, of residential, housing, logistics, etc. The real performance.
KPIs that EPRA is proposing are relatively simple to implement and relatively basic in order for any company, regardless of its size, to be able to implement them with little effort and in a very meaningful way.
And it has been done by professionals who know about this performance.
We really tried all together to think about what would we like to have if we were starting from scratch.
We've tried to put as much guidance in there and help as possible to advise on how the calculations should be done, how the normalization should be calculated and so on.
Those key performance indicators and this approach from EPRA is valid for small, medium, large companies in the same way. And it goes even beyond EPRA. I think that a number of private companies, a number of private investors are going to apply those KPIs in the same way that our financial KPIs are now applied by many other players beyond the scope of the quoted sector.
And now I think it's up to the membership to take up the mantle and to follow up on the recommendations.
The work is on companies now to make the whole initiative successful.